Hey guys, welcome back here to the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today. We are going to be talking about fishing a chatterbait with one technique I want to share with you guys for the summertime period of the year. A lot of people don't fish chatterbaits too much in the summertime. There's a lot of people that fish them in the springtime during the pre-spawn, the spawn, early post-spawn, and then again in the fall. But guys, I got one way that you can catch some good fish on a chatterbait in the summertime I want to share with y'all in today's episode here. And also guys, I will put my chatterbait link in the description of my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. If you guys would like to get stocked up on some bladed jigs or chatterbaits, using my links are a really good way to do that. Really appreciate that. And also guys, you probably heard me talking about it in the videos this week, but if you haven't, I just wanted to remind you, in celebration of our country's 250th anniversary, Cast King is offering this Patriot rod and reel outfit. It's got a Royal Legend bait cast reel on it, 7'3" medium action bait cast rod. They've also got a spinning rod that looks the same way. Super cool looking, guys. Red, white, and blue, man. Really, really attractive looking rod here. Feels super good too, man. It feels really good. So if you guys are interested in getting one, I'll have my Cast King link in the description of this video. And if you use that promo code Randy10 when you order it, you get an additional discount. So I really appreciate that. Okay guys, I want to talk specifically about fishing a bladed jig in the summertime of the year. Now, first of all, let's talk about the color, because the color for this technique is, there's two things. There's a color of the bait and there's a water clarity window that this works in. But you want to have some type of a translucent white and chartreuse like this, or like a pearl, a white and chartreuse. And you want to have some type of a chartreuse type shad trailer on there. This is actually the Zoom swimmer I've got on there. This was actually like a clear ice, like a white ice, and I put some chartreuse dye on it. But you can see there, it's got like a translucent look. So try to get some type of a clear looking trailer and just mark it up a little bit with chartreuse dye. But this is the color that they really, really like, guys, a lot in the summertime for whatever reason. In correlation with the right water visibility. This is a stained water technique that I'm going to tell you about. So you need to have water visibility in the lake you're fishing of less than 2 foot, and ideally, less than 1.5 feet. I like water visibility about like that for it to work really good. So this is the bait, that's the water visibility window. Okay, let's talk about where you want to fish it at. There's two different scenarios that this works in the summertime of the year. Number one is around boat docks. Now this can be floating boat docks, it can be piling boat docks, whatever type of boat docks. But when you have boat docks in the summertime of the year that have water visibility of under about 1.5 feet or 2 foot, you're going to have some fish suspended around those boat docks, especially the floating boat docks. I don't care if it's a residential dock, if it's a wave break, if it's a commercial dock, if it's a condo dock, anything like that. Dirtier water and hot water will cause those fish to suspend around those docks. And if you're fishing a piling type dock, say, like the lakes that are on the TVA chain, or, that have the piles driven in there, you can do the same thing by skipping this thing up underneath those docks and keeping it up high in the water column. So since these fish are suspended, you only want to fish this bait about 1 foot to 2 feet under the water. So what I like to do with it is I like to, get to that boat dock. First thing I'll do is I'll make one cast down the side, I'll make one cast down the front, and I'll make another cast down the other side. And if there's boat slips in there, and I'm going to talk about the technique here, you want to make sure that you pitch and flip that bladed jig into those boat slips. So what I do with it is, and this is sort of a little bit of a unique situation. In the summertime, guys, I've got the bladed jig on my flipping stick. Megabass Alkali's flipping stick here, 7 foot, 11-inch rod. I got 20-pound test Seaguar and Vizex line, and the flipping stick is going to be key to this technique to put that bait precisely where you need to around that dock. So what I do is I'll position my boat and I'll make the flip, or just a pitch down the side of it, reel it like that. I'll pitch it down the front of it like that, reel it like that. And as I'm going through the boat slips, I'm pitching into those boat slips. Now it's gonna work the best if you have a boat in the boat slips where you have about this much of an opening. That's why you wanna use a flipping stick, because you can't cast in those little bitty notches like that with a bait caster and a shorter one. So take the flipping stick and just flip it in that opening between the boat and the walkways and reel that thing down there, guys, and they will come out and smoke that thing in the summertime of the year. A lot of things will have, a lot of reasons this works is that you have shad in there that eat the algae off the floats. You have minnows that eat the algae off the floats that bring in the bluegill. There's a lot of bait around those docks in the summertime of the year, and there's no better bait to catch them on than a bladed jig with that. Now, the second scenario that I've done good in the summertime of the year, this is going to be a little bit more situational, is around any type of flooded cover. If you have flooded trees or flooded bushes in a lake in the summertime of the year, specifically like June and July, a lot of times those fish in the summertime, they like to hang around the edges of those bushes. They don't necessarily get, in the middle of them and the bases of them. And you can take a bladed jig and run it around the edge of that that flooded cover, whether it be bushes or trees, and they'll come out and hit a bladed jig even better than the spinner bait. But that's very situational. Main thing, guys, is if you got docks in your lake and you got water temperature 80 degrees and you got some off-colored water, just give the bladed jig a try. Chatterbait like that, gonna catch some good fish in the summertime for you. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.